To build a live dashboard like this, you need to start here. In the fall of 2020, I had my personal knowledge scattered in loads of different places. Physical notes, my goals planner, all kinds of notes in OneNote, different task management apps. It was a mess and no system could cater to all the needs I had. That was when I discovered Notion, one of the most powerful programs out there, and suddenly I could combine almost everything into one place. And did I forget to say, it's also free. And by the way, this video is not sponsored. I just genuinely feel that everyone should be able to discover Notion because it has changed my life. So I feel you should get to know about it too. The main downside with Notion when starting out, however, is that this is what you're beginning with. I had no idea where to really start, but now after using Notion daily for almost 2 years, I feel like I have a pretty good idea. To build a personal homepage like this, the first thing you need to know is the foundation. So this is what you get when you first enter Notion. You get an empty page with an empty title and then some options over here. You can think about Notion as a website and think about this first page as kind of like the home page or maybe the back office even. So you can create pages in a page, and then here to the left you have my favorites, so all the links to the pages and databases that I use regularly. And then over here in what says private, I have all of my main top level pages, you could say. And as you can see, I use Notion quite a lot. So over here you have a lot of different things. And this will look different for you, of course, because you don't have any of this information to start with. So you will probably start out with an untitled page all alone over here, and it will look like this. To get you started a bit more quickly in the beginning, there are templates that you can use. So you have a template button over here to the left. And if you click on it, you have all of these different templates in all of these different categorizations, which means that you can start from not zero, but you can start from having some kind of content to begin with. So here you have like meeting notes, design task, whatever that is, and like a roadmap for some kind of IT development. There are loads of different things for what you can do. In Notion, you can do pretty much anything you need in combining text, images, links, tables, and databases. Notion is fully customizable to your needs, and that's what makes it so powerful. I personally use it to track my finances, set and follow up on my goals, do my work tasks, plan my YouTube videos, do personal development, collect all information regarding the interests I have, save information about the knowledge I need to have connected to my work, and so much more. The possibilities are endless, but how do you get started with this? So starting with a page, you can write the page title. So let's just name this home page. And what you can do is that you can create it empty with an icon. So here you have an icon. You can do all of these different icons. Let's just search for a star and just have a star as our home page. In order to make it a little bit more aesthetic, you can add a cover and then click on change cover, and then you can go to Unsplash and search for something that you want. So like fabric. And let's do this one. It looks kind of similar to the one I have, and then you can reposition this one. I don't know, something like this. So now we have a page. If we start writing content in this page, it will start showing up here in the middle. But if we want to make it full width, you can go up to this ... menu and you can click on full width. And also, in order to make it a little bit more aesthetic, you can also change the font type. So to a serif, or you can also do mono if you want to have that more kind of like computer IT tech vibe. I usually use the default or sometimes the serif. So now you just have this empty page with a little bit of content that looks a little bit better. And as you can see, when you just click here, that this is the full width of the page. What you can do is that you can start dividing this into columns. You just drag and drop the text and see where this line shows up. And now you have 2 columns. And the most important thing you need to know in regards to this is the slash. When you do a slash, then you find all of the different options that you can do within a page. You can import all of these different types of things. So in the beginning, you have the basic blocks, then you have some kind of inline, databases, which we will cover soon, and then different types of media, and then you can embed a lot of different things that we won't go into today. So you can just do like a headline, and then you can do that. You can also do like dividers. You can do TOC, so table of contents. Then you get that headline. If we do another headline, a H3 headline, you see you can write all of these different shortcuts when you do this to get to this quicker. You can also just scroll the list. So heading 3, I'll just write H3 and there it shows up. And then you see in the table of content that it shows up down here. Something that I usually like to do to make all of the headings a little bit more aesthetic is to write / and then find the call out, which is this more kind of beautiful box with this icon to the left. So type something. So this is a headline, and I'll just make this bold. So now you have quite a nice headline, and then you can click on these dots and duplicate it. And then you can just drag and drop it over here, and then you have another headline. And this icon, you can change it. So these are all the recent icons, so I'll just do a bow. It's very, very simple and intuitive. It's just that you need to get to this level where you find like the slash and see all of the different things that you can do. You can do regular bullet list. I use them all the time. You just write one of these lines and then space. You can find it, or you can write slash and also find it here in the list. You have bullet list, number list. You can do toggles. So this like level 1, and then another one, and you can toggle this down, empty toggle, and fill it with content and text and whatever you like. You can even drag the headline into this. And then it's all hidden in the toggle. Let's just reverse that. Another thing that's really good to know is that if you write a colon like this is the way you access all of the emojis, which is really nice. So if I do that and write star, I immediately get the search results in all of these, through all of these emojis. It's like glowing star. You can do anything like sad face, see? And then you can do a crying face if you want to do that. So the whole structure that you can do is that you write slash, and then you can create a page. So now you immediately get into a new page. So we've left the home page. You can see here the search path for this. You can see the home page is the top level, and then you can see this untitled page. So we call this economy, because maybe you want to have an economy tab in your life management system. You can see over here that the home page has now an economy page under it. And we could do this the same thing, like empty with an icon. So now to get back to the home page, we can just click either go back because the home page was the last page, or we just click on the home page up here, or we could also click on it down here to get back to the home page. So it's really simple to find the home page. And now you can see that we have this economy page over here. We can click it and then we're back to economy. So this is kind of like the basics of how to set up this home page. Let's do another page like this. We'll do food, and let's just do food. Empty with an icon, and let's do an avocado. Awesome. Going back to the home page, now we have an economy page, a food page, and now we end up with a very interesting problem that I keep getting all the time. I can't click down here to create a new row, and if I click up here in order to place the cursor, I only click on the food part. So I'll just go up here, do some spaces, then I'll take this new row and put it down here. See, what I also could have done there is to take this one. See how it only shows up in this left column? I can also do it down here in order to get back to like the broad the whole full width of the page if I do that. But now we have our space here, so let's also do kind of like a page about the apartment. And let's also do this empty with an icon. So now we have these subpages that we can fill with content, and they're easily accessible from the homepage. And as you can see, these icons that we set, they follow along with the page. So you can find the page super easily over here. Another command that I want to show you is the double brackets. So let's do double brackets. And this will be really useful for anything pretty much. So double brackets is like the quickest way to link to a page. So in this apartment page, maybe we want to quickly be able to access the economy page as well. So I do these double brackets. See here? One bracket and one more of the same. Then we get into search box and we can write economy. And very quickly we find this economy page. We can click on it, and there you can see this little arrow here. You can see that this is the link to the economy page. So while we're in the apartment page, we can now access our economy page by clicking on it, but the economy page is still placed under the home page. And you can also see that in the economy page, the backlink to the apartment page now showed up. So that's an important thing to know, that when these are created in the home page, you see there's no arrow here. So here is the default page. So if we delete this one from over here, then it's gone. Or I mean, you can access it from the trash, but I mean, then it's gone. If you delete the economy page from the apartment page, like this, the economy page will still be accessible from the homepage. One very quick way to get your homepage to look more static is to not use these colorful icons, but to use black and white icons. And you can go to this link, notion.vip.icons, and here you can find black and white icons that you can just copy and paste the link to. So let's do this just to show you. And there you go. Now you have some good looking icons that makes it a little less color splashy. One of the most powerful functions within Notions are databases. And with databases, you're able to create tables, templates, galleries, and so much more. This is what will really rock your world. And when you become accustomed to using those, you'll become stuck. I know that I am. Okay, so with databases, you access them in the same place as you did with everything else, so with a slash, and then you can write database. And there you have all of these different options. So you have database inline and database full page. So the inline, let's click on it, creates a table like this in this page, whereas a database full page will create its own page for a database. In general, I would recommend you to create full page databases, and then you can just write a toggle which says like databases, and then you can store the page in there, because in the end you will want to be able to access these databases down the line. So let's remove this database. I think this is good if you just want a simple table, like a regular table that you could use for anything. So going into this database, now I have a simple database that we can call notes, because note-taking is a really good thing. So here we have this database. So what this means is that here we can write note 1, we have another one, note 2, and note 3. All of these different ones are their separate pages. So I can click on open on note 1, and then I get to a completely new page. It's a similar page to the ones we've already created with the economy page, the food page, and the apartment page. And also if you click Control Enter, you get this full page of this note. Let's just back up to the table once again. So what makes this so powerful? Well, you can assign all different types of properties to these notes. So let's do one. We have one that's here from the beginning that says tags. I think that's quite a good one. So let's rename this one to status. So here in this one, we can do different options. So status, we can do an active and then do enter. So now we've created a status that is active. And then let's do archive and create enter. So now we have two different statuses. Let's change the active one to green, and let's do the archive one red, just so they're easy to distinguish between. This note might not be useful for it to have both statuses, so let's do that note 1 and 2, they're active, and the third one is in the archive. So this now is a status. We can do a new property, edit property, let's call this type of note, just to show you the different kinds. And here we can choose what type of property this should be. So the other one was a multi-select. Let's do another multi-select. So type of note, and then we can add an option. This is the same thing as we did over here. We can add an option that says school, maybe, work. Let's do subject, so maths, chemistry, and so on and so forth. So what you can do here now is that note 1 could be a school note within chemistry. So then you can have both these properties, and this is one part of what makes it so powerful. Another property that could be good to have just regarding notes is to have created time. This is an automatic property that shows up when you create the note. So if I create a new note, this will have the new time on it. Let's do this like new note. And as you can see, this one has a new created time. So this is kind of like a good system for notes, I would say, for a beginner. So let's go back to the home page. Now we have our notes here. Let's put it in the databases tab. You know what we can do? We can also give it an icon. Add icon. Here you go. So now you have the notes for the database. Now it's down here. What we can do now is that let's make this headline quick notes. So we want to be able to quickly add notes here, but the database is in here. Well, what you can do is you can write / and then start searching create linked view of database. Click on this. Then you get this search box, and then either you search in here, but you can see here that notes is the most recent one. So this is a way to access that database. So let's click on notes and then just copy an existing view. Just do that. Okay, so here you go. Here we have all of the notes. So here in the quick notes, maybe it doesn't make sense to have notes that have any type of status. Maybe you just want to be able to quickly write notes and then see if it's something you want to work on or if it's something that should be in the archive. So what you can do then is that you can add filters. So here you can add a filter, and then you get all of these different properties of name, status, created time, and type of note. So we want to have it based on the status. So here it says status contains, and then we have our different statuses. So we could click on active, then we only get the notes that have a status of active, or we could do archive as well, and then we get the notes that have both active and archive. But we want it to be the other way around. We want to see the notes that don't have any status. So let's click on the status contains and choose that status is empty. Then we get this note that is called new note, and then we have the empty status. So we can click on a new note and write like school work. And then we can access this note, and then we can write our notes from the lecture that we had, like. And then we can change the type of note to maths and school and just click out of it. So now we have the schoolwork and the new notes. And as you can see now with this little icon over here, this one has content in it. Another thing that we might want to do now is that since we've sorted this on that status, is empty, then this box might not make any sense to have. So we can right click this and we can hide it. So it will still be there in the notes. We still have this status box that is empty right now, but it doesn't show up here. Another thing that could be useful here as well is to sort. We might want to sort on created time, but have it descending, so we have our most recent notes first. And then when we click into this note and realize like, okay, no, I won't be using this note, but we'll just click on archive, and then it will pop out of this list. Something that you can also do is click on the filter button again, and it will show or hide the filters and sorts. So now you have a quick notes database that you can use. Another thing that is really useful in regards to databases is that you can click a new note over here, a new note up here, and then you have this button over here. And here you can add a template. So let's click on new template. And as you can see here now that you're editing a template in notes. So this is specifically tied to the notes database. Let's call this book notes, because you might have a book that you're reading in regards to your schoolwork. And let's do type of note is school. And then we can see this field down here, like the regular text edit field. So what we could do is that we could add a table of contents. So now we have that set from the beginning. And then you might want to have a headline. I usually don't do H1 because they're so big, but let's do an H2. See here, now we have a headline. Let's call this summary. It could be a short summary of the book. And then we could do another H2, and then we'll do like book notes. So as you can see here, now you can enter this and write things, and you have the table of contents up here. If we just click outside of this box and then click this one, you can see that we now have a book notes. So instead of just clicking new and ending up with an empty page, you can click over here and click on the book notes. So if we click on this now, you will get a new page that has all of this information from the beginning. Quite cool, huh? I really, really like this. This is so nerdy, but I love it. And then you just have this empty page here, and you can name it like book 1. Now you have this book notes over here. And something else that I've done on my homepage that I think is really nice is that, okay, so you can slide these ones over here. Let's call this like birthdays. I'll just do a quick example of another database. Let's delete this. Whoops, not that one. Let's delete these things that we're not using anymore. I'll remove the link for you. And then let's copy this one, duplicate, and drag it down here. So now we have all of our household things down here. We might want to have another part of this, which we will call having fun. Now I would like to have this next to the household page, but you can't do that because you're already in this 2-column part. So you can have a hack around this, which I will show you just to let you know how you can do this, because this makes a huge difference on the aestheticness of the page. Okay, and let's just add a page in this. We'll do a database actually. We'll do a full page database and call this interests. And let's change this view from being a table, edit view, to being a gallery instead. So now we can have images. And we have these preset things. So let's do like fashion. And we can add a cover for this. Change cover to fashion. Okay, this cool girl with a sweater. Let's reposition this. There you go. Now you have a page where you can write everything you need about your fashion interest. Now let's do another page where we can do like running, if that's your interest. You can add a cover, you can change it, and you can do running. Okay, cool. So now you have 2 pages. Let's remove this one. And let's do the dots up here, and I'll show you how you can make this look good. So in the layout, you can see down here that you can do card preview. So these 2 are cards. They're the same thing as in the other table that I showed. You can access them. They are their separate pages that you can access. And instead of page content, let's do page cover. Now you have this full database where you can add all of your interests and have all of your interests in the same place, and add content about your fashion interest, add important links, add images, add anything you like. So now we have the household and having fun. So what we can do to make this aesthetic and look like a better page is to make a page. Just go back out of it. Mark all of these things that we want to have, put it in the page. So what we're doing now is creating columns within columns, because you can't do that really. So when we enter this page, you can put this column next to it and add the interests under having fun. And as you can see now, this is the only thing in this left column, so we have to move these ones up here. Now we have 2 columns for these, as I want them to look on the home page. Going back to the home page, we can now click this one and turn into text. And now we have 2 columns of these. Quite neat. And I'm showing you this just to let you know how to make these things aesthetic. Let's create another database for the birthdays. Database, full page, birthdays. So let's do a name, let's do dad, and let's remove this tag property, delete, and do a new one. And we want to have this as a date. So we have a regular date over here. As you can see, now we have a date, full date, and name this next birthday. And let's say that my dad's birthday is on Thursday and my older brother's is in August, whatever. So now we have a short birthday list, and let's go back to the home page and create a linked view of a database and birthdays. Here you have the birthdays list. As you can see, it is down here. Let's do an icon for this as well. We have these 2 in the databases list. Let's hide it. And here we have all of the birthdays, but something that would be really useful is to show the birthdays that are coming up in the next week or in the next month, so that you remember to congratulate them on their birthday. So let's do a filter for the next birthday, and here you can add an exact date, but we want it to be a bit more dynamic, and say it's within, and instead of putting like static start and end dates, let's do that is within the next week. So here you can see that today is the 18th of July and my dad's supposed birthday is on the 21st. So there you can see that his birthday is coming up. You could also do the sorting is instead of doing the next week, you can do the next month, and then you could see the older brother showing up as well. And you can hide the filter. I will leave you there with a quite simplified version of a homepage. There are endless things that you can do within Notion. And just tell me if you want me to do a Notion tour and go through a little bit of what I have, because I find it so much fun to talk about Notion and show you all of the different things I've done, because I feel that they work so well for me. And it's really changed the way that I think about my life and where I store things and how easily accessible it is to like find all of my interests and what I'm working on and have it all in the same place. If you like this video, please give it a like. It really helps to spread it to more people. And if you want to learn more and get a tutorial for how I set up my work task management system in Notion, check out this video to see all about my daily and weekly planning. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.